Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Match 5 of the SideQuest Season 3 Invitational. Tonight, we have a treat of a game for you. It is the Dwarves versus Kislevs. My name is Jay Bazza, and with me is the Seven-Tailed Wolf. Say hello, Seven.
Hello, how are we all doing?
Hopefully, pretty good.
Yes, yeah.
Definitely not asleep at the moment. So, let's have a look at these teams. Who have we got first? The home team, Cynical Slayers, under the coach Lemming Russ. Quite a level team. 1160 team value, 80k in the bank.
Yeah. Surprised that he's not spent that. I think it's a pretty standard dwarf team. Single runner, 2 Troll Slayers, 2 Blitzers, the rest Longbeards. No subs. I mean, dwarves are pretty resilient, so that's not really too much of a surprise.
Well, Armor 9 on pretty much everyone apart from the Troll Slayers and Runners.
Yeah. Yeah, and with Thick Skull as well, that sort of helps keep people on the pitch.
And block.
Yeah. In terms of level ups, block on the runner. I'm not too surprised about that. I think that's a pretty common one, just to have block, as if there wasn't enough block already.
Yeah.
And then 2 guard pieces. Dwarves are one of those teams that can get very scary if they just spam guard, because they just become impossible to block. I think 2 is manageable, but yeah.
Just about. Although I've not seen the Barbarian team. Their diving tackle, I don't think they've got many skills that can get around the guard.
No, but when you've only got a couple of pieces like this, the way to deal with the guard is to target it. If you can get guard pieces on the floor, if you can isolate them so that they're sort of just marking a single player, they lose their effectiveness.
Yeah,
it's fairly easy to counter, but it does depend how the Dwarves play it and how the Kislev play it.
Yeah.
In terms of how the Dwarves have gotten on, they drew their first game, they've lost 2, and they've won 1. So it's been a very mixed bag of a season for them. They're currently 8th, but they're only a single win away from sort of being in the top 5. So still close.
The same can be said about the lost teams, really.
Yes. And the Barbarians, the Kislev opponents, are the same. They've also won 1, drawn 1, and lost 2. So these 2 teams are essentially neck and neck in sort of all regards. Same points, similar sort of results and stuff. So
only -2 goal difference on the Barbarian, -1 on the Dwarves. So
yeah, and I think if I'm correct, the Barbarians did suffer quite a bad loss one week, and that's why they're so much different. But yeah,
comment.
So should we have a look at the Barbarians?
Oh, go on then. You've enticed me.
Twisted your arm, have I?
Yeah.
So,
Barbarians coming in with a higher team value, notice, but not much money in the bank to back it up.
I'm kind of surprised at that. They've been having sort of a mixed season. Apparently, they got a lot of their level ups last game. They had a particularly exciting and high scoring game against the Underworld team. So they've gone from being sort of a very average team value to quite a high one now.
It's definitely had a few problems with injuries, as you can see from the strength 2 lineman and the other lineman missing this game. So a substitute coming into play here, Paddington.
Yeah.
But yeah, those level ups. Mighty Blow on the Blitzer. What's that? Strip Ball as well. Wrestle on the other one.
Yep.
So wrestle and diving tackle. That's a backside.
I mean, he's only got 3 blitzers, which is interesting, but it's sort of a fairly standard way to start off a team, and then you aim to try and get a 4th one fairly quickly. And I just don't think he's had the injuries and hasn't had the money to sort of build up. Having a strength 2 player is a bit of a kick in the teeth, but at least it's still like a marking player.
Line of scrimmage piece.
Pretty much, yeah.
No SPP, injured, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even sure I'd use him on the line of scrimmage, but I just use him to mark players and run around with the ball. You could use him as a receiver. You could potentially use him as a runner.
I'm imagining much of a big guy, to be honest. That
you want to mark
Dwarves don't have one.
You want to get him marking somebody invaluable, really. Getting him to one-on-one mark a guard piece would be okay. They do have guard of their own, the Kislevs, which will help counter some of the guard, depending on how you place them. And the Kislev, obviously, their tactic is going to be maneuverability. Dwarves are slow. With leap and sort of high movement, Kislev need to play a very tactical game. They need to position correctly. They need to minimize the amount of bashing the Dwarves do and maximize their own. Especially with that mighty blow. That's what I want to see him do. I want to see him target that runner and also those two Troll Slayers with that mighty blow, because they have the slightly lower armor.
Yeah, definitely need to target players with Baloo there. Though just looking at both of the teams' rerolls, cheerleaders and whatnot, the Barbarians do have one more reroll with 4 rerolls. The Cynical Slayers only have 3. Both teams have an Apothecary. Probably more necessary for the Barbarians than for the Dwarves, obviously being higher armor. But you never know.
I think 3 rerolls for the Dwarves is fine. I think 3 is a pretty steady number that a lot of teams like to go with, but I think the Dwarves need it less than the Barbarians. The Barbarians definitely need all 4 of theirs because of the amount of leaping, especially with Marv as a coach, who is quite a sort of a risky player. He likes to play the bold moves. So
and especially with tackle, if he had a player with dodge, which he doesn't on this team, tackle just gets rid of the reroll if he fails. So even with agility 3, it's still going to eat up a couple of unlucky rolls. Will still eat up rerolls like nothing.
Indeed. The one thing that I'm really happy to see on Marv's team, and it's one of those skills that sort of I think a lot of people overlook, and particularly new coaches, is kick. He's got kick on alignment. For a team with high mobility like the Kislev and the ability to sort of jump over players, having control of where the ball goes on that kickoff can be pretty game-changing. Depending on how the Dwarves set up as well, if they do leave themselves open to all or anything, you can really exploit that, especially because they're obviously slow. So
if you're sitting there wondering, what, he gets to choose where the ball goes when he kicks the ball? It's not exactly picking exactly where it lands. It just means that the skill just means that you halve the number of squares the ball scatters on the kickoff. So normally it scatters 1d6. From this, I believe it would just scatter the 1d3 die, or 1d3 squares from where you select where it will land.
Yeah. So what that enables you to do is normally if you kick the ball in the middle of the pitch, which is what you would mostly do if you want to play safe, the ball on a roll of a 6 on that d6 can reach the edges of the pitch. Whereas now that you have the option, and this is the key thing, is you can choose to halve it or not. Now that you have the option to halve it, you can essentially make that scatter a D3, like you said, which means that you can put it in sort of like the back corner, for instance. You can put it like fairly far back, and you will guarantee that it will still be in play, but it will be towards that back end. Likewise, you can put it in the front or whatever. So it gives you a lot more control of like sort of if you sort of divided the pitch into quarters, the half into quarters, you can control what quarter it's definitely going to land in.
As long as you have 4 squares between where you place the ball and the edges of the field, you're guaranteeing it will land on the field and not go out for a touchback, basically.
So, and I think I'd like to see how he uses that. I don't know if he got that skill this game or when, but I'd like to see how he uses that, because I feel like against the Dwarves that could be pretty pivotal.
Yeah, fingers crossed he doesn't forget and places him either on the line of scrimmage or in one of the wide zones where kick doesn't take effect.
Exactly. So, I think we should move on to the game when the guys are ready.
I will just give them a little poke.
If you could. So, I think this is going to be an interesting one. It's all to play for with these two teams. They're both in the league. They're 8th and 9th, both on 4 points, both the similar goal difference. So the winner of this game will sort of determine who's going to end up in the top half of the league, I believe. Looking at who's playing who, if one of these teams wins this game, it could sort of seal them in the upper or lower halves.
Yeah, well, it will put them onto 7 points, which will put them equal with the Raditz Rodents of the Underworld and your own Silver Palm Bretonian team.
Indeed, yeah. And just because of the way the fixtures are this week, I think it's quite like, because I'm playing the Underworld, because the Bretonians are playing the Underworld, if like one of them wins, lose, or even if it's a draw, and the ogres are playing the orcs, the way that the points will work out is whoever wins this will definitely be in the top 6.
Oh yeah, no doubt. They will leap into joint 4th. Yeah, joint 4th.
Yeah, and even regardless of the other fixtures, so it'll be interesting to see. I hope we just have an exciting one, really.
Yep, so hopefully our coaches are just going through the inducement stage at the moment. Like
So
I say,
let's have a quick talk about inducements. We said that the Barbarians have the higher team value, and looking at it, it's 50k higher. To me, that screams Bloodwiser Babe for the Dwarves, but I don't know what you would say.
I'd probably not go for a Bloodwiser Babe, because it's quite unlikely. You need to roll a 10 to break the armor, then a 10 to knock them out, or, sorry, from a, 9 and 10 with Thick Skull?
Thick Skull, I think, just negates one of them, actually, if I remember correctly. Yeah, you treat the roll of an 8 as a
roll
stunned.
a 9.
So basically, there's only one result. So knocking the doors out is quite unlikely.
So I'd probably, especially with the 80k in the bank, either, maybe bite if you've got nothing else, but...
Yeah, the issue is that they've only got 50k petty cash, which means that you can't buy anything else without using your own cash. And if it was me, I don't think it's worth investing another 50k to get a reroll or an apothecary.
So much for a dwarf.
Yeah, exactly. It has surprised me a little that he hasn't gone to buy just one extra dwarf just in case, or in particular, sort of an extra runner. I believe the runners are 80k, so.
I think 80k, and I think the Longbeards is 70.
Yeah. So if it was me, I'd probably buy an extra runner just to have that reserve player, and you can maybe build him a bit differently. But
I believe the game they're just in the setting up phase at the moment. I believe the inducements are done, so we should be able to see if he's gone for anything or not. And yes, he's gone for a Bloodwiser Babe.
Yeah, I feel like it's not worth spending the petty cash. It's not worth spending your own cash. And if you've got enough for Bloodwiser, it's better than nothing.
Christ, that is an aggressive line from the Dwarves.
Yeah, that's one thing about Lemming, is he does play aggressive.
Yeah, seems to have forgotten about the generic leap on everyone else.
I think Kislev is one of those teams that if you play a lot of single player and stuff, the AI doesn't really utilize very well. So it's quite easy to forget just how strong leap can be. But if utilized correctly, I mean, it is harder because they're agility 3, but they do have very long legs. So it's a 3+, which essentially means they can dodge anywhere on a 3+, once in their movement.
Well, it's basically making 2 dodge rolls, isn't it? Because you've got to make the 3+ to jump over the player, and then the 3+ to get out of their tackle zone.
Yeah. But what it means is that if you're just singularly marked by a player, you would normally make a 3+ to go into an open space, but if you're completely surrounded, you can make a 3+ to get anywhere.
Oh, get the ref.
I'm a little bit
Each
behind.
team gets a bribe, and the ball's dropped right next to Marv's catcher. This is... Ooh. This could be a very quick touchdown from the Barbarians if their luck goes for them.
So we have the Barbarians on the receive. No subs for either team, so see how well the Barbarians play this and how well they can keep themselves alive. I like that he's because Marv was on the receive, he's put his guard piece off the line, and he can now strategically move it depending on where the ball landed, which I like. It's very easy to just trap yourself and just put all your guard pieces on the line, and then they're stuck in perhaps not fanciful positions.
Oh, going for the blitz on that. I don't think I'd knock them inwards. I think I'd probably end up trying to knock them out for a surf, to be honest. But I can see what he's trying to do there, and I can't really fault it. It's just personal preference from my end at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think what he's looking to do, because you don't know that you're necessarily going to knock them down, I think he's decided that the right-hand side is where he's going to go.
Yeah, try and free up those spaces.
And he's going to try and clear a path. Because with how aggressively the Dwarves have set up, they've got no backline.
Yeah.
So if he can mark, as he already has, mark these players along this side, it can be very easy to trap the Dwarves. in the
Yeah,
centre
it
of
would
the
take
pitch,
at least
and
2 turns for Freya, that other Longbeard, off the line to get anywhere to try and mark. At which point, he's probably already going to be caged up quite well. But the ball's going
the other way. That's a very interesting approach.
Interesting's definitely one word for it. I wouldn't be taking it nearer to the Troll Slayers, put it that way.
Yeah, the Troll Slayers are a bit of a dark horse. Like, it's very easy to bait somebody, especially an inexperienced player, into frenzying into a bad position.
It's very easy to just forget as well.
If the Cynical Dwarf hits Paddington and fails to hit him over the first time, his second hit will, at this stage, be a 2-die against him.
That's not going to help either, freeing up that Troll Slayer.
No.
Troll Slayer's being moved
Marv as
as
well. It wouldn't surprise me if he's going for a passing play here. He could well, I'd love to, I hope he's this sort of clever, that he's baiting the dwarves to commit to this cage. And with this catcher being agility 4, darting him out and trying to pass to somebody on the right-hand side, where all the dwarves are too far away.
You mean going for a 2+ leap and a 2+ dodge?
Potentially,
and then throwing to the other side of the field.
Depending on how far the dwarves get into this cage, you might not even have to really dodge away, but yeah, we'll see.
Well, Lemming, I can't say I've played Lemming much, but he does strike me as quite an aggressive player.
I think that's the right move.
That's all going
Might take the hit.
Yeah.
Which is nice. So that corner is still secure.
Yeah, it's a good thing that wrestle piece was there, because with Freya having block, well, every dwarf having block, that just means that while it's not a turnover for Lemming, it means that A, they both go down, and B, no armor gets rolled, so there's no chance of an injury on the blitzer.
Indeed. And the bigger thing as well is dwarves don't have the greatest movement at the best of times. Putting them on the floor, that Longbeard can only essentially move 1 square when he gets up. Yep. Which really hinders his ability to do stuff. And also, any dwarf on the floor is not blocking the next turn. That's always a good way to look at it.
Not unless they're the one blitz that's being made.
No, yeah.
Oh, first
that's an issue.
KO coming in.
It's on the guard piece. Which
it's
you
not
don't really want. You kind of need that.
Well, rip guard.
Now this is the thing, and this is where Kislev can be played very nicely. If Marv plays this correctly, he can clear a path for Yogi, the ball carrier, to just leap out and just leg it behind the dwarves, and they will struggle to catch up.
Yeah, there are 2 very easy ways to clear paths.
Yeah.
And maybe the one that I first saw was probably the more difficult of the 2, because it required 2 blocks.
Mm-hmm.
But no, there's definitely an easy way to set up for a surf and to just clear a path.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which
there's a lot of potential options.
Actually, no, it's still 2 blocks, whichever way you look at it, to get guaranteed 2 dice. That's not what's needed. Yeah, definitely not what was needed there.
I think taking 1 dice at this stage is a bit
risky.
Yeah, he's left himself exposed.
Yep, very exposed.
There were certainly ways to get 2 dice.
Yes, sorry, keep going.
I was just going to say, there were certainly ways to get 2 dice.
Yeah.
In that situation. Now, obviously, he's probably got some sort of plan in his head, but we'll see.
Yeah, the way I'd have gone would have been to block onto Kumo with Banjo instead. Or was it not? Sorry. Set up the assist with Banjo onto Kumo. Oh, that's lucky.
Well, that's fortunate.
Yeah, because now the Kislev are all on the ground. Admittedly, they can easily get to the ball carrier still.
Yeah, they do have the joy of jump up. But it's going to require some dodging. But
still on Tamisha's not going to help, though. That's the block player.
Yeah, the key player here is going to be Fozzie, the wrestle player. Wrestle when your ball carrier's got block. Wrestle is so important.
Well, when the ball carrier's got the ball, wrestle's important.
Well, yeah, wrestle's important. It's all the more important.
They have block. You get a both down, then that's not even a turnover for you. You can get them to knock the ball down and then just swarm it.
Yeah. I was more referring to in comparison to a block player.
Yeah,
like blocking a ball carrier. Yeah, if you're building a player to take down the ball carrier, wrestle is always preferable over block.
I feel like Lemming's forgotten the amount of leap there is in this field. Because I would not be blocking the players off. I would just be forming a much larger cage.
It's a tough call, especially if you're not used to playing a team such as the Kislev. They are a unique demon. But he's doing the worst thing as everybody's
team, but it feels like a gimmick. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, and a foul already, making use of that bribe. Which player is that?
Wow, that paid off. So it's just a lineman, but
injured lineman. Yeah. To be honest, I'd have used it on Fozzie.
That was worth. That was worth. I'm surprised at that because to do a foul with no support is quite. It's just like a normal armor break, really. Got
it with the 10.
Yeah, so I mean, it paid off for him, and he got the injury, so no complaints there, especially with that bribe.
Yeah. Again, I'd have probably saved it and tried using it on one of the actual positional players, one of the blitzers, or one of the, Fozzie, really, is who I'd use it for.
2+.
Oh.
Nope.
Rolling on one on that first.
And this is kind of where Russ's positioning has been good because he's got sort of dwarves scattered all over the place. The Kislev have to make rolls to do anything. They're going to have to make a number of rolls to get anything to work. And plus, not only is the ball carrier a guard piece, but he's got a guard piece adjacent to it as well. And I have to see if Marv pays attention to that or not.
Oh, that going for it was a bit risky there. But
I'm interested where he's going to try and blitz from, if at all.
I can't see a blitz coming in this turn. To be honest, you just need to get those blitzers up and just leap them somewhere. Because the leap is just an unmodified agility roll. Just checking that quickly. Yeah, it doesn't take into account any tackle zones around, but the blitz is coming in.
Yeah, I think this will be a 1-die.
Onto Kuma-san, yep, definitely going to be a 1-die. Or even onto Tai Chi. I'd probably put it onto Tai Chi, at least try and move forwards.
I think it's probably safer to go with the... If you're going to do a 1-die, is to do it on the ball carrier. There we go. You did the leap. Now for the 1-die. And there you go.
Oh, it's not even come up on my screen yet. Catch up. Nope, it's just... my clock's just counting down. I can't see anything. Oh, there we go.
You might want to try clicking the forward arrow at the bottom to try and re-catch up. I assume you sort of like a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cleared a path now. The only advantage because I've got is that the Longbeards aren't exactly renowned for their speed. But he's still a turn away. So.
Oh, here comes Frenzy. Oh, 2 pushes. That means that the other Troll Slayer can't get the hit in either.
Nope.
Although he could just block with it.
Another push.
Oh, just getting that blitzer closer to the ball.
Puts him in quite a nice position because he's got 2 players on the floor there. I think it'll be quite possible to set up an assisted block.
Yeah, all he has to do is get Nut closer. Oh.
Finally knocked him down.
And an armor break as well. It's only stunned. However, that means that Baloo cannot be blitzed, and Baloo is the player with Mighty Blow.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely within range.
That's safe.
All it needs is a leap 2 squares to the right, or our right. Then it's a 1, 2, 3. Yep, he can make that.
My other hope as well is that Kislev coach notices that his wrestle player is still standing, and provided that these 1-die blocks don't go against him, which I assume Lemming will make, you could block the ball carrier with wrestle, which would be my play of choice. Dodge the catcher out with agility 4 to get the assist. We'll see. Push here.
Yeah, that's also a smart placement by Lemming for Total Space Biscuit.
Mm-hmm.
Now Baloo cannot leap anywhere where he doesn't then have to make another dodge.
Yep, I mean, Baloo is going to have to, Fuzzy, sorry, is going to have to make a go for it in order to blitz this ball, but I personally would say that's worth it. I'd say the go for it is worth the risk.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dodge and to go for it, really.
Yeah, his best bet is to leap out 2 squares to the bottom, directly bottom left. So he'll end on where it says where the 6-yard line is, and then just run directly at him. But we'll see. We'll see if he sees it. The big issue here being players down. I mean, it's the way the game goes against Dwarves, but you need to avoid it as quickly as possible.
Yeah, be one going for it. Still, you could.
Oh, think these are becoming unnecessary potentially.
Yeah, that one was.
I mean, the advantage of doing that, however, is that
whichever way he goes,
he can't blitz both of them away. So unless that Longbeard makes a dodge on agility 2,
as we all know, they can do the dodge.
Mm-hmm. And so he's gone.
He's blitzing with Misha,
but he's leaped too short.
Yes, yeah, he has, and I think he's realised that.
Yeah, bit of a blunder there.
Although,
I mean, that won't help. But he's just marking up the dwarf with more players, which is fine.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a waste of
just a shame
blitz.
about that wasted blitz, really.
Yeah. So what he's going to have to hope for now is that either Kumo fails the dodge, or maybe Lemming would be patient and try and do as much damage as he can.
Yeah. With the reroll gone, I'd still be tempted to try and leap Baloo out to the square below Total Space Biscuit, make the dodge, and form a cage around Kumo.
Yeah, I think it's worth the risk.
Yeah, I can. Oh,
and then
unfortunate.
I think the key thing there is he hasn't moved his wrestle piece. I think if you're trying to take down the ball carrier, you have to put your focus on making the wrestle piece do work. So at the very least, he needed to move him downwards.
Yeah. But at least, no matter which way you look at it, a dodge has to be made.
Yeah, a 4+ dodge with a reroll, well, with a team reroll. 50-50. I'm not sure whether Lemming will want to take those odds.
Or the blitz just does it.
Yeah? Oh, yeah, because that captures strength 2.
KO.
Yeah, that's the easiest way of doing it.
Oh, no, 2-die blitz. Yeah, you're right.
Because it's capture. And there we go.
1-0 to the Dwarves.
Steal. Key point. Fortunately for the Kislev, there is 4 turns left for him. So there's still plenty
4
of
players down.
But yes.
2 of them got up at least. At least someone's players knows when to wake up from a knockout. But the guard player's still out.
Yeah, and that's going to be the issue here.
Oh, that is a pain.
So 9 on 11.
I think what Marv... Well, that was Marv's receive as well. That was a stolen ball. Oh, that's very unfortunate for the Kislev.
Yeah, so they're going to have to steal it to win this. If they even if they do get a touchdown now.
Yeah. So it's 3 turns to score. No, 4 turns to score, sorry. And then try and steal it in the next half, hold up the game for at least half the game, or half the second half, and then score then. Which is definitely possible.
Oh, anything is possible, but it's just not made his life easy.
Oh, definitely not. Has my game lagged out again? Come
Are you
on.
waiting for the kick? Because
Yep. Admittedly, it could just be Lemming is taking his time, trying to decide.
Okay.
Just a change of weather.
Nice diving catch.
Diving catch.
I do love a bit of diving catch. Another sort of underused skill. Luckily, the catchers have it automatically.
I don't even think it came into effect. I think it just... Yeah, I think the ball just went to him.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Although the skill doesn't say that it actually adds +1, it just says he can catch it if it lands next to him. So it could have gone basically into any of the 8 squares around him.
Yeah, that's what I think happened. I think that's why it popped up. Because the +1 only takes into effect when it's a pass.
Yeah. There has to be an accurate pass as well.
But having diving catch built into the catches makes for a very interesting opportunity. There's a skill called kick-off return, which a lot of people don't tend to use. When you've got diving catch, it means that you can essentially have the ball in your hands quite comfortably if you've got a couple of players with that skill pairing. And seeing as the catchers already have diving catch built in, it's only a single level up to get that. So it'd be interesting to see if he goes that route. I mean, block and dodge are obviously much more life-prolonging skills that would be useful for the Kislev.
Those two going for it are a bit of a risk.
Yeah, I don't think he necessarily needed to. I think he would have blocked off. I think it's quite unlikely the Dwarf's going to get around the back. Put it that way.
I mean, the Troll Slayer could have opened up a line, but I don't think the player was in, or the Troll ball carrier. The ball carrier is what I'm trying to say. I don't think he was within blitzing range.
No.
Not without it. Oh no, it's the runner that's behind the Troll Slayer. So I take that back. He probably was within blitzing range.
But if Fozzie hadn't made those two go for it, he'd still be blocking off that runner's path.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Whilst it isn't like a solid cage, it would still do the job.
Yeah, to force the dodge to come in.
Yeah.
Although Lemming's not used any of his rerolls yet.
No.
So
Definitely in a much stronger position, whereas the Kislev have used 3.
yeah. But they've still got their bribe left, at least. Which I would suspect needs to come into play on at least, well, any of them, to be honest. If it was me, I'd go for the Troll Slayers of the runner, but any of these Dwarf players, the guard players especially, need to be taken out sooner rather than later.
It's the unfortunate risk is that to try and take out an armor 9 piece, you need to really foul with assists, and ideally you need at least 2 or 3 assists. And to get into a situation where you can surround a player that well is quite difficult, especially when you're already down men.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me that he's not gone for it. Also, it's an interesting.
Surprised he didn't go for the both down on that first one.
I think that's actually potentially a very tactical decision because it's moved the Troll Slayer
forwards
an extra square. Very clever play, very, very good use of frenzy there, if it was intentional.
Well, Troll Slayers do come with blocker standard.
Yeah.
Which, when you've got Dauntless and Frenzy and Thick Skull.
It does negate the frenzy somewhat, makes it a little bit less risky. And I've seen already this season that Lemming has been saved by that fact. So we've got a mark on the ball now.
And he's plugged the gap as well. Well, not plugged it, but nearly plugged it.
I think if I were the Kislev here, I would try and go down the right-hand side. I would try and knock Maya, the furthest Longbeard, out of the way.
Make the leap and run.
Yeah. Get an assist on it, make the leap or the dodge, and just run. You'll be caught up, but I think with leaps you'd be able to sort of block off the dwarf's paths enough that it would be a struggle to catch up. But we'll see.
Yeah, the problem is that it's a 1-die block. Admittedly, you just need the push, then follow up as well.
I think what you could do is you could pull Banjo, though. If you stood up the guy on the floor, Misha, you could put Banjo. Admittedly, it would leave him on the line, so it would potentially leave him a little bit exposed to a surf. But you could get an assist to get the 2-die block.
But then you're also... Oh, no, Blitz has gone on to... That's...
1-die blitz as well.
I don't understand that.
Think he's going to try and get Paddington into the back lines. Although there isn't much movement left.
Yeah, and Freya is free. Well...
Oh, I think the Barbarians in trouble now.
Yeah. I won't pretend I can understand what was going through Marv's mind there.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a case of not focusing on the ball syndrome.
Yeah.
See a lot of particularly new coaches do it, where they sort of focus on other blocks and maybe doing damage, especially if you are a bashy team, which the Kislev aren't, but it's very easy to sort of focus on other things, whereas you really need to be focusing on scoring, especially in this position.
Yeah, especially when you've only got 2 turns left. And now, no rerolls to do it in.
Yeah. He's going to have to put somebody in the door's back line just to do a Hail Mary pass. Just as a...
Which he's done before.
Last-minute desperation. Yeah, it's worked for me. It's worked for several people. You know, it's always worth a shot. But you've got to make that one of the first things you do.
Yeah. And the Kislev are down to 3 players left standing again. It's not been a good half for the Kislev. Too many players have been left lying down. Not enough have been left, or been moved around, really.
Now,
right. The one good thing is that Nut has jump up.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. He needs
Admittedly,
to
he's making 2 dodges.
I mean, yeah, you need to get him up, leap him, and get him within scoring range.
But you also need to make sure you can get the ball close enough that you can actually throw it.
Yeah. I mean, the key with the positioning of Nut here is you want to put him in a position where he's far enough away where he can't really be blitzed, but don't put him excessively far away. What a lot of people do is they'll try and get a player as deep as possible, which just makes your own pass harder.
Yeah.
As long as he's within scoring range, that's fine.
Surprised Lemming went for that pickup there.
I think it was worth a shot. I mean, there's a lot of places it could have gone. It could have gone to any one of his other players. It could have bounced all over the place. I think it was worth.
It could have ended up next to Winnie, though.
Yeah. I think Lemming's probably feeling quite confident here and probably missed the jump up. Now, I just hope that Marv has seen.
Yes, made the lead.
Good.
And move forward.
Hopefully he's going to move forward enough.
That's probably a bit too far.
That is out of range of anyone blitzing him entirely, which is nice.
Could have been 2 squares further to the south, but that would have left room for
some potential marking.
Yeah, for marking.
I mean, the blitzer can still reach him to go for it, but best he can do. So now's the time, the big moment. This is where a guard player would come in really handy for the Kislev.
Yeah, but I think basically Blue has to blitz, or rather, Misha has to stand up, Blue has to blitz, Total Space Biscuit, and then Banjo just needs to make that dodge, pick up, and chuck it. But that's not happening. Is Misha good? No, he's just going straight for the pickup. I would not have done that. I would have at least tried to clear, at the very least, try and push Total Space Biscuit onto the board and maybe knock it further into or closer to Nut. But I wouldn't have done it that way. Because obviously, with Total Space Biscuit still being left standing, that exerted a -1 on the pickup.
Yeah.
Which, when you roll a 2, doesn't change anything. That's still not.
Now, here's a problem. Surf City, on a Mighty Blow player, no less. If not multiple.
Well, the Mighty Blow player's going out.
Or not.
Should have gone out.
Well, still can. Still can if he blocks with Maya.
Yeah.
Could have had them both.
Oh, and KO on the Mighty Blow.
KO! So, that's his two of his valuable positionals out.
Yeah, they need to wake up. And there goes the third.
Potentially a convoluted way of doing it, but it doesn't surprise me.
KO as well. Just for shits and giggles, another KO.
Now, if this was me, I would attempt to try and surf that with that Troll Slayer. If he doesn't move any further, I would attempt to surf that Troll Slayer just to gain the player advantage next half. I think that's worth the risk. Would be a 1 die, but
Blots and a 1. Blots. Dodge and a 1 die. And then, to be honest, if you got that, I'd still be tempted to try and leap Yogi onto the ball and just hurl it. Probably try and throw it at Winnie, and then dodge out with Winnie, hand off to Nut, and then try and score. But when that happens...
I think that does him a favour. I think blitzing that runner down is going to be easier than attempting to pick up the ball where it was.
Yep. Because Fuzzy can do it. Then he can knock him.
He's got wrestle.
Frankenstein Joe closer, or back to Yogi. Get up with Yogi, throw it to Winnie, do exactly the same thing.
I think the big decision here would be: would you try and get Winnie? Would you try and use Winnie to get an assist on Frankenstein Joe, or would you just go for the 1 die with Fuzzy?
1 die.
Yeah,
1 die all the way.
I would go with the 1 die as well. So I suspect we'll see a leap. He doesn't like his leaps. Now 1 down here, and then it will be Yogi to pick it up if he manages to get it free. So this is essentially a 4+ here. So there he goes. Good enough.
Oh.
Good enough.
Yeah, that's
now
what's needed.
Now the problem is, even if Yogi picks this up, that is a long pass distance. I'm not sure he can make it. So he might have to try and pass it to Winnie.
Oh yeah, no, definitely throw it at Winnie. But the thing is that Yogi has to make the leap and a dodge and a pickup.
The only advantage is he's doing all of them on 2+, because he's a catcher. So don't roll a 1 is the name of the game. Step 1 complete. Step 2 complete. Step 3 complete.
Now.
So now, yeah, he's well out of range.
If he goes forwards 1 square, he will be an easier throw to make.
Yeah, and I think, if I remember rightly, mathematically, that's worth it. But a 2 on the pass won't do it.
Yeah, the fumble, however, it's not.
Not ideal. Now, the Dwarves can score a second, but it'll involve some risk, and he might just play it safe and go for the damage.
I mean, I suspect Lemming will purely go for the damage here.
Again with the push.
Yeah, it's into a 2 die, though. I mean, he had both down, so I don't understand the push.
This could quite easily be a case of mistaken identity, especially if he's not using the player pop-ups. You might convince yourself that certain players have wrestle when they don't. You might think that a lot of the blitzers have wrestle, or some of the other positionals do.
Yeah, I mean that is the catcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't understand the pushes.
No, it was an unnecessary risk, probably a mistake, but he's not used any of his
rerolls, so we're talking about unnecessary risk. They're apparently paying off.
I mean, this is what I was saying earlier, of 3 rerolls is a good safe number, but see, you haven't even used one. Haven't needed to.
Oh, one on the pickup. Now. There goes the first reroll.
Still fails.
Yeah.
Bit of a shame there was no agility, 3 players nearby.
So, end of the half, 1-0 to the Dwarves. Probably could have been 2-0, but equally could have been 1-1 if the risky plays had paid off.
Yeah, I think the Kislev have got a hard half ahead of them. Neither of their players got up.
Oh, no, one got up. Guard player got up.
Oh, the guard player got up.
Mighty Blow stayed down.
Mighty Blow
and the other guy.
Fortunately, you kind of would like kick when you're kicking, but hey-oh.
Yeah. Although I don't know where I'd kick the ball against Dwarves, to be honest. Either way, you're kicking it into a cage.
Well, it depends on how the door's set up, and it's hard to kind of predict. If they set up as aggressively as I've seen Lemming do, you'd want to kick it deep, because you can jump over the Dwarves.
And run, yeah.
And try and swarm the lone runner at the back.
Yeah. At the moment, Lemming's set up in the auto setup position that the computer picks. Although I'm not sure I'd have 5 players on the line for the Kislev.
I think I know what he's going for. It would make it easier to leap over and harass the back line further. But maybe he's forgotten that he will be striking second, so most of those players will probably hit the floor.
Especially with 2 guard players for the Dwarves.
I find it interesting that Lemming put guard on a blitzer. If I'm not mistaken, you can put them on just normal longbeards. So
yeah, because the other guard player is the longbeard.
So when your blitzers have agility 3, they're a bit more of like a key player. So there's sort of other potentially more useful skills. So, bit of an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't need guard.
Yeah, you can't choose who gets guard, leveled up there, and especially in a league this bashy, maybe you just thought, I'm going to level up somebody, I just need to give him guard, regardless.
Yeah, I mean, when you're when you're strength 3, you sort of need a bit of guard when you're going up against a lot of strength 3 teams.
And that's unfortunate. I think it's a good kick. Would have been fortunate had it not been for the high kick there.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, there's no guarantee that he'll catch it. 6 will do it, though. Yeah, I think I agree with Adam. I'd have probably put Mighty Blow on him because he's a blitzer. But equally, with him being agility 3, the rest agility 2, I'd have probably, if it was a double, gone with an agility or a passing skill. But we don't know what he was rolled. So.
I suspect it wouldn't have been a double if he'd gone for guard, but maybe. But I even think skills such as sure hands and stuff can be useful because he's only got, and this is kind of the risk with this Dwarven setup, because he's got no subs. His runner, besides his blitzers, his runner's the only agility 3 player. So if you injured their runner, they've only got their 2 blitzers as agility 3 players, which can severely sort of hinder their ability to sort of pick up.
Yeah, but that would have been requiring the double for sure hands.
Sure hands is a general skill.
Do they have access to general?
I think so. I'm pretty sure they're not strength only. I will double check.
Yeah, unfortunately, the game isn't the best at letting you know what skills they have access to, just in general.
It's all right. I have access to a wonderful device called Google. And Fumble has access to all of the teams' rosters and what they can take. So, yes, the Blitzers have general and strength, the Blockers have general and strength, the Troll Slayers have general strength, the Runners have general and passing. So, yeah, any general skill can be taken on any player. I'd even be tempted to take stuff like Strip Ball on the blitzers. I mean, it's equally good on the Troll Slayers because you get, 2 blocks, but Strip Ball would work on 1 block, so...
Yeah, but you see, for the Troll Slayers, they're mainly there for the higher strength pieces that they're fighting.
Yeah,
so
they're
I
your
wouldn't
damage
give
dealers.
Strip Ball because I wouldn't be putting blitzers or the Troll Slayers generally up against players that would traditionally have the ball.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you want them to do damage. They have Frenzy. You may as well maximise it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd put Strip Ball on the blitzers in that case.
That's a good blitz there from Nut.
It is. There's a lot of Kislev players on the floor.
Stun was a bit lucky, but yeah, no, that's a good movement. Now, however, he needs to get someone else up to support.
Needs to be doing some leaps and dodges here, really. It's one of the tough questions I find with Kislev, and I'm never really sure how to play it myself. Do you go and play Elfie, i.e. you take risky dodges, well, potentially risky dodges to not get punched in the face? Or do you play sort of more like a traditional team and you leave your players and hope they stay standing?
Against anyone other than Dwarves? The second. To be honest. If they're all strength 3, I'd just leave them there and go, get the assists. Or risk the 1 dice. However, when everyone's got block, that's just risky to leave them there. Unless you yourself also have block on literally every player on the field. In which case, you'd go for it.
Yeah, it's just the risk of when you play the Elfie screening tactics. Elves can do it because it's 2+ to dodge, usually. Which just makes the risk so much smaller than the 3+ that the Kislev are going to have to make. And so they're kind of in an in-between place of it's kind of hard to play really screeny, or it's a lot riskier to play really screeny, but they're also not solid enough to play bashy, or overly bashy, especially against these kind of teams. Tough call.
Yeah. I think that's a good effort to clear Fujimura Pantsu, because they're now within blitzing range of Nut. Same with Freya. They're now also within marking range.
Yeah.
So there are 2 players that are able to give assists for Frankenstein Joe to then blitz his way away.
Now, I'm not sure if both the blitzers were on the line for the Dwarf team. There's a potential trick there on that high kick if they weren't on the line to put one of them as the receiver of the ball, because obviously it can be anyone on your side of the pitch so long as they're not on the line of scrimmage. And it's a great way. Those kind of high kicks are a great way to level up players. To get somebody to receive the ball, potentially, who you normally wouldn't attempt to pick it up with. But alas, Frankenstein Joe has it.
Is it going to be a handoff to Freya, maybe? No.
With agility 2, I would hope not. I'm fairly open here, especially with all this leap.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I can just see a lot of leap coming in and just crowding the back of them.
The key one here for me is Genma for the Barbarians, the guard piece. He can pretty much leap him anywhere next to that ball carrier, and that will give an assist. So you only need to leap him in. He can literally stand anywhere you want, and then you just need one person to blitz him with. And I would probably attempt it with Fozzie, the wrestle piece. And that would be your best chance of getting this ball. Now, he could be pondering this, seeing as he hasn't played anyone else. Could be pondering where to put him. I mean, if it was me, I'd try and put him
2 squares for Marv, 2 squares forwards, but he's not going to do that.
Yeah. I mean, wherever you put him is at risk of being punched, but...
I'd have also probably made the blitz with Yogi, to be honest, if I wasn't going to do it with Fozzie. So I'm a bit surprised about what he's trying to do here.
The problem with blitzing with Yogi is he's only strength 2.
Yep.
So you'd need extra assists, but...
Would have been a 1-die still with Genma. I'd managed to get in.
Yeah, I think he needs to crowd this ball. He's standing players up to get punched again. I think he needs to mark the ball carrier as much as he can, because there's only so many blocks the Dwarves can successfully do. Now, will he dodge out? Will he dodge out?
See, I'd have left somewhere else so that you didn't need to dodge out, because with jump up, you could have leapt anywhere outside of the tackle zones and not needed to make the dodge. As it is, he failed that first dodge and just wasted his reroll, which means this blitz piece...
Much more risky, but
yeah,
he has done it, and I think this is a perfectly fair way of doing it. He's got the 2-die. Just a shame that he's picked up that catcher. He stood up that catcher, because that's the piece you'd want to recover the ball.
Yeah.
And this is still a good position to be in, I think. 3 players on the ball, only one of them can be blocked away without a blitz, so you can only really clear 2 of these pieces.
And you'd be clearing Yogi and Fozzie. Maybe... Oh, I'd have been tempted to try and leap Kuma in as well, into the middle of Freya, Loki, and Kuma-san. Oh, there goes Yogi.
Now, you've still got an opportunity here if Russ is clever enough. Because all 4 squares are taken sort of adjacent to each other, if you blitz from any of those corners, you can push the runner, the ball carrier, away into a sort of an unmarked zone. But we'll see if Lemming sees that.
So you'd make the blitz with Fujimura?
I don't know who I'd specifically make it with.
Fujimura's the only one that wouldn't need the going for it.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, I'd probably make the blitz with Fujimura onto Nuts in the top left corner.
But that would be a 1-die. So it's still a bit risky. Oh, Kuma got injured. Only badly hurt.
But another player down.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you could get an assist on multiple of these players.
Well, just looking at the guard players, and they're both tied up, I think.
I feel like that was a bit of an unnecessarily 1-die.
Yeah.
Bit of a waste of a reroll, but nonetheless. I mean, he could have just put Fujimura where Fozzie's just fallen into. He would have had the same pinball effect, but alas, the dodge works. The runner is free. And the Kislev
now, hopefully we can knock down Winnie, Genma, and Misha. Because he has to do a really good job of tying them up now. Because all 3 of them can make the leap into that free space. Now they can't. Now only Genma and Misha can make the leap into a free space. Because it's a 2-square leap, so they have to both make that leap. Pardon?
I think Winnie can. 2 squares.
Oh yeah, sorry. Genma and Winnie, sorry.
Oh yeah. And Misha, I mean, Misha can as well, but just he'd have to leap away first. That's helpful.
Yeah, that's very helpful. I think that's the first bit of bad luck that Lemming's had the whole game.
The first bad roll. Considering the number of sort of unnecessary 1-dies, yeah.
Admittedly, Winnie or Misha can't reach the ball carrier leaping away without making a dodge.
Aha, yes. See.
However, Misha can make it so that he has to be at least marked or just blocked to stop him from interfering in the next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if he also gets Winnie and Genma next to the ball carrier, it's going to make it very difficult. So I think the first thing I would do is just stand up all the other players and then go for the jumps, to be honest.
I think I'd agree. The key thing that you've got to remember if you're making this move is you have to do the blitz with Gemma, because Winnie's strength 2.
Yes.
So you've got to do that in the right order as well.
Got to set Winnie up as the assist, and then blitz with Gemma.
Nice use of jump up there. A bit of a risk. But nice use of it nonetheless.
Was that not the blitz? Wow.
No, because it's jump up, you can block somebody who you're standing next to.
Yes.
And whilst it's a 1-die block, which is fairly risky, Fozzie does have wrestle, so it's essentially a 2+ to not fall over, because any other result would be fine.
Well, that's the wrong way to have done it.
Well, he might try and get all 3 players out. We'll see. See what he attempts.
I still wouldn't want to be making that dodge, though.
No, I wouldn't either, but yeah, he's not blitzing with Winnie. And what he might try and do is he might try and, mark sort of sporadically to make it harder to clear these players. Hopefully he learned from his mistake last time and put the strength 2 player on the back end of the... Oh, here we go.
Interesting.
I like it, I like it. Now this is the tough decision, is which way you blitz from, because this could dramatically affect how things go if you don't knock him down. I would definitely reroll that, which he does.
Yep. Yep, that was a good reroll.
And now the ball is fairly safe.
I'd make that going for it.
I think I'd agree with you.
No.
Lack of time, I think.
I only heard one buzzer. I didn't see what it was looking at. Or rather, I only heard one gong go off.
Fortunately, I've just missed it on stream. But yeah, I heard that too. But I had that when I played my game the other week. And it happened to me. So...
No, the stream, it did count down to 0.
Ah. So yeah, bit unfortunate. Suffering from tail syndrome there.
So yeah, I think that would have been just a lack of time, to be honest. But that's still probably a good position for the Kislev to be in to get a draw, to be honest.
Could be worse.
I definitely wouldn't be making these blocks. I'd be swarming those 2 players. 3 players, to be honest.
At least first, yeah.
Well, the one block I'd have made would be Fujimura onto Yogi. And then move Tai Chi, Loki, and Kuma-san just next to, or just around the ball.
Ooh.
Stand up Frankenstein Joe, and then try and block Misha and Paddington.
Now the Dwarves can kind of swarm the ball here.
Trying to knock nuts onto the ball.
And he's frenzy trapped himself, but luckily block makes that a lot less risky.
Yep. And guard does as well.
Yes.
Because if guard hadn't been there, that would have been a 2 red die block.
Indeed.
So we'll go with the experience of the player there over forgetting.
Now, I think he might go for this pickup. It's a risky one, but I think he might go for it.
I mean...
There we go.
When you're making rolls like that, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So now another blitz is needed.
Yeah, but it's a lot easier to get the assists onto this now.
The wrestle piece is too far away. Nice jumping about. Now I would blitz him here, probably with Nut, and then
I'd at least have moved Genma. Probably not that. I'd probably move Genma directly in front.
You see, I would use one. I would have blitzed with the 2 players and left the 3rd player free to retrieve the ball.
I don't agree with the positioning of Nut on that. I'd have been knocking that ball as close.
I think you'll go for a reroll here.
Yeah, you have to.
Fortunate.
Ooh.
Now you've got to push him behind. Yeah, behind Gemma.
Yeah, I'd have leapt Nut the same way that Genma leapt and pushed Frankenstein Joe towards...
Backwards a bit.
Well, towards the touch... Or not the touchdown, towards the sideline.
Oh, nice 2-die block. Good use of jump up there. That's what I like to see. Jump up's a great skill.
Yeah. It can be fun. Oh, and the failed leap.
I think that was worth a shot. You want to get this blitzer closer. Even that's okay, you know. He can still get up and do stuff next turn. By blitzer, I mean player with block.
Yeah. So
I think we might see much of the same. An attempt to clear out this cage, and then perhaps a dodge.
Yeah, that's just a blitz with the Troll Slayer, to be honest, and the one dodge needs to be made. Admittedly, it'll be 2 1-die blocks.
Not with guard there, it shouldn't be.
Well, I wouldn't have blitzed onto Winnie for a start. I'd have blitzed onto Genma.
I see, you do it very differently from me. I would have blitzed Winnie from bottom left. Oh. And pinballed Frankenstein Joe out for a single dodge.
Yeah, whereas I'd have just put the blitz onto Genma, moved Genma the square across, hopefully 2 squares across, and just moved Frankenstein Joe up and right.
Now, this is a potentially favourable position here for the Kislev. If he gets Winnie up, he can use Nut's jump up to have a free block on the ball carrier, which will be a 2-die, and then he'll still have his blitz if that fails, which he could potentially use. There's a few options. The number's dwindling for the Kislev. 4 players down. Could be better. Could be better. Could be worse. Could be better.
I just like the line of support that the Dwarves are showing their runner.
Cheering him on.
No quarter asked, no quarter given. If you want to come back, we'll push you forwards. Right. CS Dan Winnie up. Block with Frankenstein.
Yes. That's what I want to see.
Push, though.
Now, I probably would have rerolled that just because getting another 2-die block is going to be tough. I mean, you can do another block, for sure, but it won't be 2-die.
Yeah.
And re-rolling the 2-die would generally be safer than this, but...
I mean, if that happens, then fair enough.
Now, I think you want this ball to go out.
Yeah,
or that. That's equally good. That's not bad.
No, because Winnie's going to get served next turn.
Mm-hmm. I think he needs to move Misha a little bit further just to block off the blitz on
Yeah. Those 2 going for it need to be made. In fact, I've just put Misha in front of Tai Chi. Force the blocks to be made.
Nah, I wouldn't force the blocks because then the blitz is free to use on the player. Whereas if he just makes the go for it, then you have to blitz him out of the way, which means the blitz can't be used on the ball.
He wouldn't have been in a position to stop the blitz from coming in on Genma.
Oh, fair enough.
He just wouldn't have been in position. Whichever way you look at it, Tai Chi... Oh, no, actually, he would have been. Yeah, my mistake. It would have been a 1-die, but...
Yeah. Oh. Not worth the reroll. Watch out. Now, the hope here, which I'm not sure Lemming will fall for it, but the hope here is Lemming commits his players to the ball carrier, leaves Yogi the catcher free to get up and receive a crazy pass. That's what I'm hoping for.
There comes the surf that I called.
Mm-hmm.
5 players now out for the Barbarians.
3 turns left for them. A draw is still very much possible.
Oh, yeah.
In Blood Bowl, anything's generally possible, but it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, diving tackle's not really coming to play this game, purely because they've been outbashed.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really see a lot of dodging dwarves. Too die. Might well see it.
I'd at the very least stand Frankenstein Joe up.
I think now, yes, I think he's safe enough. Yeah, there you go. Well, that ball is fairly encapsulated. But the joy here
Paddington.
for the Kislev is that the Dwarves have possibly forgotten about how effective leap can be, and you can just leap to one of those, well, to a corner piece, and just make
Dodge
a dodge.
and run.
Yeah, 3+ leap into a 3+ dodge with a reroll. You know, it's a risk I'd take. In fact, you can make it even less risky because you can definitely blitz. Okay, not anymore. But you could have blitzed the total space biscuit at least away with the 2 free players.
I mean, they still can. It'll just require leaps.
Yeah, I'm not sure the leap will be worth it. I mean, now he's pretty solidly encased. A tough call here, I think.
I mean, I think, yeah, you have to stand Yogi up. You move Yogi at least away from complete halibut.
Yes.
And then...
Move Yogi down for in catching range later. And I'd say leap Genma out, and I'd actually try and give it to Misha just to run to the other side of the pitch, just to run to the right-hand side, because there's only really the Troll Slayer that's a threat there.
Yeah, move Misha up to complete halibut, move Yogi, or jump, or stand up Yogi, move Yogi 4 squares to the bottom left. No, you need to go 1 more square to the left. That would have made sure. Admittedly, complete halibut still can't reach, but there's the failed leap.
Here's the problem.
And it's another failed leap.
That could be it. That could be game over. I think that's the right thing to do, but
Dice didn't go for it.
no.
Oh, and a double 6 on the armor as well.
And you've probably got, I mean, if Lemming wants to be mean, yeah, you've got a double surf. Or not.
No, because he blocked with the wrong player.
Well, he could be going for SPP there. You don't need to surf the players because you won't get SPP from it. So you're better off hitting with players that you want to level. Which I think is why he's gone to pick it up with a blitzer.
Oh. So, hand off to the runner for the score.
Secure the win.
Yeah, to be honest...
2-turn touchdown is possible from Kislev, but it won't win them the game, so...
No. But I don't know who I'd have rather scored there, the blitzer or the runner. Both of them run 9 SPP, but I don't know who would have tried, or who would have been a better level up prospect.
Yeah, it's tough to call. I think with this much of the season left, and his runner is clearly his sort of receiver, his runner's going to earn plenty of SPP with touchdowns over the season.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot harder to level up your blitzers.
Which is why I'd have probably kept it with the blitzer, to be honest.
I think so. I think in that position, I mean, he was so dominant on the ball, I would have even risked trying to pick it up with a Troll Slayer or someone else. Someone else who you need to level up. Yeah, it's risky, but...
Well, when your win is pretty much guaranteed at that point. I mean, let's face it, half the Kislev team were off the field, and only one of them stood back up. And a pitch invasion.
Well, that will make 2-turn touchdown a lot more difficult.
Yeah. When fully half of your team gets knocked out from a pitch invasion.
I think you've just got to go for it. You've got to go for the touchdown. You've just got to leap over and just hope.
Leap Fozzie over, run, try and pick up the ball with Yoki and chuck it.
Yeah, just leap as many players as you can over the Dwarves. Try and get away.
Which, when you've not got any rerolls left,
and that's the hope, is if you can somehow get at least 2, maybe all 3 players on the other side of the Dwarves, it makes it a lot harder for them to mark them all. But
is he going to make the throw? I'd make the throw.
Vanity pass.
Well, it's a 6+ throw. There's no getting away from that. 6+.
Yeah, I suppose if he passes it the full distance, yeah.
Because whichever way you look at it,
he's going for the short
he rolled
pass.
the 1. That's a shame.
Well,
went for a short pass though, so he's throwing it to either Misha or Genma.
Mm-hmm. Which is interesting.
I would have then said another leap, run, and a handoff, maybe. Possibly.
But being in two tackle zones, that would have been, I think, a 5+ catch at best.
Oh, easily, yeah. Right. Now, to be honest, if I were Lemming, with this being my last turn, I'd probably go with Freya to pick up that ball, make the going for it, and then do the pass to complete Halibut just for the level up.
Where's
Freya is the dwarf.
Yes. Long yeah, I'd do that as well. Nothing else you
so
can
it's
really
one
do.
going for it and a pass.
You try and do it with the Sanjo.
Don't know why he's throwing it that far away, but
I mean, it's still a short pass, but alas. No vanity pass for the Dwarves.
yeah, it was still a quick pass, not a short pass.
Sorry, yeah, quick. So, well, that's going to be the Dwarves 1. 2-0 victory, fairly comfortable. A fairly standard
No,
Dwarf
there's
game,
still a chance. Well, there's not anymore, but there was still a chance for the Kislev to score.
Yes. But alas.
It would have required a going for it, but yeah.
A leveled up Troll Slayer from MVP. That's nice.
Ooh. And Paddington, the lineman, got the MVP on the Kislev team. That's unfortunate.
I mean, at least it's not a loner.
Yeah.
So that puts the Cynical Slayers up to
Joint third. Fourth.
joint 4th, yes. I believe, yes, they will technically be joint 5th because of goal difference, but yes, on points they're joint 4th. And the Barbarians will stick down in 9th. I think the Dwarves will be happy with that. It was a solid dwarf game. Just bash cage, move up.
Yeah, 15 armor breaks compared to the 2 by the Barbarians pretty much says it all, really.
Yeah, I feel a bit sorry for the Barbarians. I feel like there was a few opportunities there that could have been capitalised on, but either mistakes or dice, one or the other, didn't quite let it go his way.
Yeah, I mean, when you have 76 blocks succeeded against you, it's not going to be a good game, especially when 5 of those are KOs and 1 of them's an injury.
Indeed.
When you're only succeeding 15 back against that, yeah. That's the point where you just start trying to dodge out at every circumstance. But no, there's not really much more that can be said for that. Nearly 50% ball possession for the Dwarves compared to just under 20% for the Kislev. All of which was in the Kislev's own half. Basically said it all. Completely dominated by the Dwarves in this game, really.
Looking at the Barbarians' block dice just shows you just how little blocking they actually did. Only 4 defender downs. They only had the potential to knock down 7 players the entire game. So not the greatest.
I think, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure one of them was a double, double down. Yeah. So he's 6 players they could have knocked down the whole game.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's when you're rolling 7 skulls and 4 both downs.
yeah, I mean it's not sort of uneven luck per se. I don't think there's enough dice there to really say, oh, he rolled bad. Just didn't roll enough.
Yeah.
I think is more the case. Just didn't block enough.
Wasn't given the ability to block, really, to be honest.
Nice on the leaps though. 72%. I think that's pretty bang on average for a 3+. All the jump ups made
should be 66%, I believe. So above average on the leaps.
So, yeah, solidly good. Yeah,
75% success on his armor as well, which is for armor 8 about expected. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think solidly okay dice wise. Just a bit unfortunate. I think that sort of last play, it was when the dice needed to be in his favour, and it just wasn't there. So should we drag the coaches in, have a quick, very brief chat, see what they thought?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to
welcoming to the stream.
Welcome to the very tight commentary box.
It's a bit cramped.
Did somebody drop chips on the floor?
That'll probably be me. I apologise.
Where's the drinks?
I'm a messy eater. We can't afford those kind of luxuries here.
I mean, you're a
What's up my
dwarf.
blood
You've
visor?
got the
Come
drinks.
on.
We're expecting you to bring the drinks here.
I mean, we've got the blood visor just outside.
Yeah, which you bought and paid for. So come on, bring them in.
Okay.
Yeah, we all drank it all. So, how did you guys? We'll start with Marv. How did you feel the game went, Marv?
Please kill me.
That says it all, really.
No, not a good showing from my team. They were pretty awful today. Like I've just seen in the statistics, I only failed like 8 of in total 29 leaps, but it still feels like every second one fails. And yeah, my catcher totally letting me down with his poor excuses for passes. Like I tried, okay, I tried some of my usual daring plays, but the Nuffle wasn't for it today.
Yeah, well, the thing is, when you're having to rely on making the 5 and 6+ passes every time, making the first 2 might look good, but trying to expect that to continue is just not going to work.
Like I'm not expecting it to work. I'm just saying I'm still gonna try it.
Yeah. and
then
praying for it to work.
And then games like this happen, which is fine, even though I'm a bit disappointed on how it went on my side, but nah, dice rolls.
Well, to be honest, even going by the dice, or not even, if you ignore the dice rolls, it was still a close-ish game. There was definitely possibilities on both sides for it to have gone either way. So yes, you had a lot of players on the floor a lot, but it could have still, especially with those jump ups, could have still just changed the balance here or there if maybe 1 or 2 rolls had gone slightly differently.
To be fair, there is one thing about the dice roll that went good this game.
Go on.
I rolled a 6 for winning, so I'm now only 40k of my 4th blitzer.
Yay!
Nice. So close to having sort of a good full team then, and you can get rid of that potentially strength busted guy as well.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he's gonna sit on the subs bench in the next game, but I had one guy out for the game, so that's why he was.
That's never a comfortable situation to be in.
No, especially not against dwarves. Speaking of dwarves, Lemming, how did you feel the game went? Obviously, you won.
I'm quite proud of how my team went through that. There was a few duff rolls here and there, but I didn't go a half without using all of my rerolls, so Nuffle must be happy with me.
Yes, we pointed that out. Get to the end of the first half with 3 rerolls is impressive, even by dwarf standards. It's pretty impressive to have not
it's
needed
something
one.
I don't think I've ever actually managed.
Well, congratulations.
Until now, so hooray for that. But yeah, it went quite well. I managed plenty of armor breaks, which as a Bashi team I should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
15 armor breaks from my side versus 2, so kind of a thing.
Yeah, well, you actually made 76 blocks compared to 15, so...
it kind of happens when I knock down half their team in the first turn.
Yeah.
And I also, I know, if I try to play blocking games against dwarves, I'm gonna lose.
Yeah.
So,
it was
tried
good for the leaping strategies, and it would have won, but no hated it.
Yeah. We were discussing sort of how throughout the match, Marv always had a threat of scoring. There was always
that little bit somewhere.
1-1. But it just didn't quite pan out that way.
Yeah, I mean he was very close to getting a final turn touchdown for a 2-1, but it just didn't work.
Yeah,
it's a real shame in my opinion.
I tried, I wanted to exploit the dwarf's lesser movement allowance in contrast to my catcher and my blitzers, but well, if they get caught out like this and the passes don't work,
Kislev are a team that rely a lot on they're one of the more teams that are relying on good luck. You're doing a lot of rolls for just normal movement.
Yeah, I've instead of dodging, I just sleep because it's the same
you get the
chance.
+1 to that.
But my guys get the +1 to that, so I'm I should always sleep instead of dodge. But it's a lot of things where easily your rerolls go poof.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, good game. You played that down very nicely.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with how it went. I had a nice smattering of star player points passed around. Only got 1 level up, but I finally have a leveled up Troll Slayer, so that's definitely something.
Mm-hmm. And you gave him Mighty Blow, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
Very good. A very nice one for Troll Slayer.
Yeah, I'm generally giving all of my players guard when I get the chance, but a Troll Slayer, it seems best to make them very punchy.
Mm-hmm. Especially with that frenzy.
Exactly.
I would agree.
I'm glad we played because that is scary. And I hope we don't see each other in the tournament stage.
The thing about it is, if you look at it, the Cynical, my number 1 player, Troll Slayer, has Mighty Blow. He's on 10 star player points. The Complete Halibut, however, my second Troll Slayer, 0 star player points.
Mm-hmm. Just the way it goes, isn't it? No injuries yet.
Yeah, no permanent injuries at least. I've had a couple of players out for a game or 2, but luckily they weren't permanent.
Sure thing. So, a nice bit of leveling for you. Unfortunately, you didn't get any, did you?
No, my MVP went to a 0 SPP player.
And there was no other SPP to go around the Kislev team, unfortunately.
Yeah. You've got 2 linemen on 5. That's a vanity pass here or there. You could level them up potentially.
I mean, I wanted to try that this game, but the other guy with 5 SPP was out from turn, I think, 2, and never got up again. So that was my kicker. When I was then there was my kicker who was out the whole game. I was like, fuck. We talked about the kick before the game, and I wanted to see how you would use it, and unfortunately, just never
got the chance.
It happened.
Never quite materialized.
No. Yeah, so maybe Addercool just said in chat, I'm playing Chaos Dwarfs next, so he's already given me the win apparently, so we'll see how this works out.
He has not been having a good season, bless him. Yeah. But, well played both of you. It was a good game to watch. Exciting. There's always a threat from both teams.
Thank you all for watching. It's always nice to put on a show.
Yeah.
So thank you, Marv. And Lemming.
Thank you for casting, and thanks for the game, Lemming. GG.
Yeah. GG.
And
pleasure playing.
See you all next time.
Yes, we'll see you next time. I've been Tails. J Baz has been with me.
Yeah, I've been Joe Bazza.